ladies and gentlemen, our top story tonight. How has the world's climate and environment been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic? More on that later. But first, a more pressing question must be answered. Did aliens build the Great Pyramids of Giza? Turns out the answer is unsurprisingly no. We first go to our Indian correspondent Sanjay reporting from Mumbai. Good afternoon, Sanjay. Based on your preliminary observations, how do you think this pandemic has affected India's climate?
Hello, Sanjay reporting from India here. Thousands of people are demanding their weekly dose of curry. As they say, we have lots of diseases much worse than coronavirus here. It's like a common cold. According to researchers, this is true, but the WHO wants to make sure that no one else gets it. As if we were rich enough to travel out of this hellhole.
Thank you, Sanjay, for that. But I ask again, how has this affected the climate?
CO2 emissions have fallen for the first time in 4 decades. They have decreased a good 15 to 30% in the last months. It looks like Binshu has performed one of his miracles again. Back to you, Sam.
Thanks, Sanjay. It sure seems that way. We now go to our German correspondent, Sarah. Guten Tag. How do you think Germany's climate and environment has been affected by this pandemic?
Hello, we are live from Berlin reporting on the recent coronavirus pandemic. This global virus has had a lot of different effects on the world's climate. Environment Minister Sven Schulz and the head of the country's Environmental Protection Agency, Derek Messner, have said that the impact of the coronavirus on Europe's largest economy could help Deutschland to still achieve its 2020 climate targets. Deutschland's greenhouse gas emissions last year fell by 6.3% from 2018, the biggest annual reduction since 1990, driven by advances in the energy sector. With last year's reduction, emissions have receded by 35.7% since 1990. That brings Deutschland close to its goal to push down emissions by 40% by 2020, compared to 1990 levels, especially if an unexpected economic recession amid factory closures and lower power consumption due to the coronavirus are added to already ongoing climate efforts. Back to you, Samuel.
Dankeschön, Sarah. We now go to our Italian correspondent, Giovanni in Napoli. Buongiorno. How has Italy's environment been affected by this horrific pandemic?
Hi to everyone. I come to you from Napoli, where the only thing that we do here is steal things from each other. Here, people don't obey the rules of the corona, but my grandma always says that there's nothing that a good dish of pasta can cure. Now, the Mediterranean Sea, or what we call here the Mare Nostrum, it was full of condoms and tampons for women, but now, with the corona thing, it's full of masks and gloves. It's disgusting what the corona did here. It's true that the corona is strong and can kill people, but strongest is the slapone of my nana if I don't get the bread every morning.
Grazie, Giovanni. We now go across the Atlantic to Mexico City, where our Mexican correspondent Miguel is reporting from. Buenos dias. How has Mexico's climate been affected by this pandemic?
Oh, hi to everyone. Today I'm going to talk about what the coronavirus did in my country, Mexico. In my cozy house, we are 12 people. Mi mamá, mi papá, mis 6 hermanos, mis sobrinas Lupita, María José, Rogelia, y yo. Here in Mexico, we are not used to use masks and gloves. You know that most of our food is eaten with our hands. Do you imagine washing our hands every time we eat? Ugh, gross. We know that the corona is really bad, but we have worse things to deal with. That stupid thing of the corona. Okay, are we? Okay, bye.
Gracias, Miguel. We now go to our Chinese correspondent, Handa. Ni hao. Can you please tell our lovely viewers how this virus has affected the epicenter of it all? Mighty communist China, the most supreme of empires which will liberate the proletariat from under the yoke of bourgeoisie rule.
Handa. The COVID-19 pandemic has been held to decouple from. Many citizens have perished and lots of people have been infected. The good part about it is that the air pollution emissions have decreased in almost 20%. The same happened in the global financial crisis of 2015. Nevertheless, pollution levels are rising again, just after a strict lockdown to contain the coronavirus. Some of the new data recorded show significant increase in CO2 emissions. Emissions produced by some of the pollutants are even higher than this same day last year.
Handa. We now go to our UK correspondent reporting from London. Hello, Sarah. How has the United Kingdom's climate and environment been affected by this pandemic?
I
bid you all a good morning from a reasonably sunny day in London. Due to the recent pandemic, James Lee assures that ozone levels have increased by 50% during lockdown. In addition, air pollution has fallen by almost 60% since March 23rd, and nitrogen dioxide levels in the area have reduced around 35% since the beginning of lockdown. All this is probably connected to the fact that around half of London's air pollution comes from road transport. That's a particular problem in the city, where a combination of tall buildings and narrow streets makes it difficult for the resulting pollutants to escape. The app Waze has released figures showing that, since lockdown began, the UK has seen a 70% fall in kilometers driven on the levels recorded in mid-February. Back to you, Samuel.
Thank you, Sarah. We now go to our final correspondent, Joel, reporting from Tel Aviv. Boker Tov. How has this pandemic affected Israel's climate and environment?
Oh, good morning, my friend. Please, come in, no problem. We are just walking a little bit in our Shabbat. Excuse me, it's very messy, but we are walking, okay? Sorry. So, Israel is way less polluted because there's no cars moving around and stuff, so it's very good. But on the other side, we can go to shops like Fox, for example. We love shopping on Fox. שבוע שעבר, I mean, the past week, me and my family wanted to go visit Shimon and his other friends. It would have been splendid, but guess what? We can't be more than 10 people in one house. That means that my cousin and his other 5 friends and the son of my grandmother couldn't come with us. That's horrible. You know what's even worse? We don't have no falafel nor pita. Do you understand the gravity of the situation? No falafel and no pita. גרוע ביותר. It's very bad. But you know what? It's even worse. The government decided to open all the shops and schools again. But the corona keeps spreading all over the country. And who is that fault? It's Bibi. Okay? Bibi is the problem. And I think we all know what's gonna happen. We need to repeat the elections. You know how bad it is? This is not possible. Well, changing topic. We wanted to go visit Madrid because we love Madrid. But what? The airports are closed. No more flights and no more duty free. Well, that's all I have to say about this topic, and I hope you come visit me soon, very, 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 very soon. Okay? See you. Shabbat Shalom.
This pandemic has given us an unprecedented opportunity to reverse climate change. We can lower emissions and speed up the renewable energy transition, but it will be of no use if emissions fall this year only to rise the next. The decisions we make now will affect the next 100 years of humanity. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And now, sports.
Audio Jungle.